I wanted to talk about INFJ loneliness. If you look at loneliness, it's a lack of connection in a way, like to connect with others, to connect even with one's own self, like one's own internal thinking, thought process, these sorts of things. Like if you ever look at the still face experiments by some of the psychiatrists and psychologists, where if the parents showed no attention to the child, like the child will go in distress trying to get the attention of to be seen, to feel nurtured. And there's definitely been times where it's kind of like a drawing in, like someone sees me, there's a drawing in of like, oh, this person's being attentive, the hearing. I mean, I could be just looking at them, I could be thinking about anything in my brain, but they feel seen, they feel heard, and then they start to open up in that situation. It's like you think of like any relationship sort of thing where like it's normally after a period of time that you start to open up. That period of time for me seems to be a very short period of time. So to get that in return is very rare. It's very rare for me to actually, I mean, unless I'm going to counselling or something like that, it's very rare to actually have someone, or be it relationship, friend, whatever sort of thing, that actually has that same level of empathy, I guess, in a way, to actually take the time to actually listen to another person and have that receptiveness to them. So that misconnection, that connection where it's just like, it's kind of like a plug that you're trying to find some person to plug into to actually receive that. It just feels like a forever walk in a way. And whenever you get it, it's fleeting. So that can cause a lot of loneliness. But for me, it's very rare to actually have that level of understanding, to be heard, to be seen. I mean, all my misdiagnoses were just basically assumptions about what I was saying, sort of thing. The whole alien stuff and that. Believing I was from an alien world, and I was just feeling like I was not part of this world because I couldn't connect to people. But I think similar to this ocean, like we can be quite deep people, we can be quite multi-layered people, we can be quite protective people of our emotions, because when we do open up sometimes to the wrong people or to the manipulative people, it's kind of almost like a door slam of protectiveness around us, like a shield of like doors sort of thing, where it's like, well, you're not going to get close to that again sort of thing. So it's actually hard for us to open up, and sometimes it's not so much that we're protecting ourselves, and sometimes it's just not worth the effort, because if we're opening up and someone is very heavy-handed or just fumbling around sort of thing, and to their best intentions, but they're just not, once again, getting the connection, it's sort of like, well, it's kind of like handing your heart to someone that like sort of drops it on the ground and goes, oops, sorry, kicks it around as they try and pick it up sort of thing. It's like, why am I investing in this? So, and I think because we feel things so deeply, it's like me with music sort of thing. It's like I love music. Listening to music, it like just plays with my emotions, picks me up, drops me down. I don't know, it's just something beautiful about it. But we're very emotional people. It's like I can be quite monotone sometimes, but a lot of the time it's like I'm either close to tears or like whatever. So it's just we feel things quite deeply. And similar with the ocean metaphor sort of thing, we think quite deeply, we perceive things quite deeply for other people, we care greatly about other people. And that can be to our detriment. So we can lose ourselves, and we can almost lose ourselves in the depths of that. So for us to be able to go into those depths with us, one has to be realistic on the INFJ, because if it's rare for people to be seen and heard, and that for someone to actually go, oh, you get me, sort of thing, you understand, or just be opening up their old wounds to a complete stranger. Then for the INFJ, that mind shift of like, yeah, it's like, one, it's a gift for us, and two, it's like, that is a kind of a rare connection for the other people, so it might be for us as well to be able to have that same level. Not to say that people can't go there, it's just like that depth is just like not all the time. And we're all the time. We can be a bit intense with those emotions as well. So I think the other thing is that the expectation of that as well can lead to loneliness. To find that one person, similar to how I sort of said, like with if you're looking for an INFJ for like therapy sort of thing, I also don't think an INFJ should be looking for a person to I was about to say complete them, but I think heal them in some way, to tend to that isolation wound, to tend to that protective wound, because sometimes it's less INFJ stuff and more trauma stuff. It's, I've been hurt before, so why should I go out there and get hurt again? But the catch-22 on that is like, in thinking and feeling that, you're not going to meet someone as well. It's like, you kind of got to go out there. I think the difference is healing those wounds that cause that protectiveness, and also being able to learn from that. So it's not like, well, if I go hang out with these people, it's like I have this outcome, and then like I heal my wounds and then go hang out with the same group of people and get hurt again. It's sort of like trying something different. I mean, it's what my Taoist teacher is actually talking to me about as well, where it's getting me into situations where I can't be me. I know that sounds like a negative, but I understand what he's saying, because if I go, like, I try it out in the social groups sort of thing, where it's a walking group, once again, it's like me, I'm connecting as people are talking, and it's like I'm connecting, like figuring people out basically, and it's like, and then people are starting to open up. So it's getting to me to where kind of like my inferior functions, like the extroverted sensing sort of thing, getting me to where I can't join the dots. I'm not sort of being the counselling person. I can't have that time periodically to actually be me in a way of like analysing things, thinking deeply, going into the depths, playing in the shallow ends, I think is what I'm trying to say. I'll always be in the depths, but I think it's kind of like a wave. It's like you got your deep parts and then you need your up parts sort of thing. If I'm always in the deep, then I'll never have my up. So that's sort of going into situations where it's more of a sensory thing, where I'm having to not have that time to join the dots on people. It would be very easy and convenient of me to sit at home and go, well, no one understands me. I can understand other people. I'm so lonely, sort of thing. And it's like, okay, it's like, what am I expecting there? It's like, am I expecting someone to knock on the door and go, oh, hi, I just heard your internal thinking and feelings, sort of thing. I'm here. It's kind of like if you're a very analytical person, sort of thing. If you're constantly analysing things, then it sort of stops you from experiencing life. And same if you're constantly depths in the emotional world, be it external or internal, it stops you from experiencing other emotions. And even for an introverted intuition to work, it needs input. It's a funneling in, a perceiving function, and then we boil it down to one point. So we need that outside input for the inside input to work. If it's running dry, then, and we're experiencing loneliness, then unfortunately there's sort of, I think, facing the real world reality of one, have I got some trauma that's keeping me stuck and protecting me from actually connecting with people and them connecting with me? Or two, is it that or two, is it actually using the INFJ stuff as an excuse? Because yes, we're introverted, yes, we need to recharge every now and again, and if we're doing that, then good on you for going out there to needing recharging. But if we're just going, well, I'm introverted, so therefore it's like I only stay alone sort of thing. I mean, to stay alone, it takes the outside world to exist for you to stay alone. I think venturing out there and trying new things, trying experiences that are beyond what we know, because if we go to what we know, then we're just going to get the same outcome. It's going to be the same pattern. So going outside of what we know to try things, to get out of that comfort zone or that protective zone. But it's not to deny the emotional hurt and the also awareness that our connection with others, if they're feeling that it's kind of like a rare thing that they're being seen and heard and they're understood, having that awareness that one is a good thing on our count, and two, whether that's going to be easily sought out, and not being disappointed if we can't just go out and go, oh, hi, another INFJ, and they completely understand us. It does kind of feel like, in a way, that when they created, like hypothetically, if like they were creating all the different types and all that, and it's like, oh, you got a good feeling, you'll be able to understand, but you'll be like a really counselor, and like people will really open up to you, and it's like, oh, that's great, so people will like me in return. It's like, yeah, well, I've got to go. Good luck on Earth. See how that works out for you. You might find it periodically, but I think in the trying there is one, a healing and understanding, but without trying there's only going to be a self-affirming belief system of no one will understand me, and I can't connect, and I'll always be lonely, which you've just basically signed a stamp deal with yourself sort of thing of like, that's going to be my existence. My argument to that is, if that's the case, then why are we actually why are we feeling loneliness? Because we might still be desiring that connection. So looking inward to the sense of like not analysing and going in an NITI loop, but looking inward to the fact of like, is what I'm trying my comfort zone? Is what I'm trying something different? Who am I trying that with? As far as like, if I'm hanging out with people that make me feel like crap, do I want to continue that, or do I want to try another group? And self-assessing, because in healing our own little wounds on that sort of thing makes connection a little bit. It's kind of like blowing the dust on a game cartridge or something. It's like makes the connection a bit easier. You can play a bit easier with others. But if we always put it onto others and not onto ourselves, as far as like, hey, we might have some protective stuff here that's stopping me from going out there and connecting, then the only person that can heal that is our own selves. And also knowing that we do have a gift in a way of connecting to make others people seen and heard, and there's probably going to be people or peoples out there that will value that, and at time like to play in the depths with you sort of thing, and have that reciprocated in a way, have you be seen and heard. But yeah, so I think I'll leave it at that. I'm Dion from Eflowtion Support Services. If you're wanting to learn how to sit on water, all you have to do is come out to the jetty. It's quite easy. It's probably about 50-step process of how to do it. But yeah, so I'm Dion from Eflowtion Support Services. Thank you for joining me on this INFJ Chat. It's a mango berry, if you're considering. I don't know why it's red. So yeah, bye for now.